want you to have a biblical stance, if you will, or at least a moral stance of why should a Christian own a gun or why not? Why or why not? Did that clarify for you, Nixon?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I thank you for that, sir.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. How many people we have on the line now?
Oh, we have 20 people. Now we have 21 people.
Okay. Yeah, they're gonna start coming. Hello, Rabbi? Robinson? Okay, can everybody hear me? Before we break into groups, we have a young lady that is that has the face shield, like the one that I was wearing early this morning before the sermon I was telling you about. She's about to come on now, and she will let you know how you can find them from her. So after Sabbath, if anybody would like to have a face shield, a little extra cover to put on your face when going in public places, I find it very beneficial where, the mask, things can fly in your face, you know what I mean? In your nose, your eyes, whatever. But the face shield, you'll be able to cover not only what's coming out, but also what's coming in, what's going out or what's coming in. All right? So I don't know if Daniela is on. Daniela, are you there? Daniela. Okay. All right.
Hello, yes. Oh, they can't hear me. Hold on a second. My mic is muted. Unmuted. All right. Can you guys hear me?
Switch the line now.
Hold.
Okay, Daniela, can you hear us? Daniela? Yeah.
Hello. Can you hear me? I can't hear you either.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I hear you. Let me know when.
We could hear you.
Awesome. Happy Sabbath, everybody.
Happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath.
Pastor, I'm not sure if you gave me the floor already.
Yeah.
I just pray that everyone is staying safe, and I'm praying also that God's grace is keeping you all. And wanted to definitely thank Pastor Joseph for allowing me on for this brief moment. As you guys know, God is faithful in all He does, and He keeps us together even when we're unsure of the path that He actually wants us to be on. But I had the awesome opportunity to work in local government, and since then we've had a big pay cut. But God has given us many resources for us to continue to keep His work going and to stay faithful. So I do pray that even in this time, you guys have been staying faithful. And I fell upon this awesome opportunity to have masks or face shields, actually. And so if you guys are interested in face shields, if you guys are having direct contact with the public and want to stay safe, definitely please reach out to me. I will put my information in the chat. You guys can feel free to give me a ring. And just remember that God has given you all the resources that you need to bring people to His kingdom and also to take care of yourselves and your families. So I pray that I hope to hear from you all, and just have a great rest of the Sabbath. And I look forward to enjoying the Bible study.
All right. Thank you so much.
I think it would be helpful if you can show them how they look like, what they look like, rather.
Yes. Let me see if I can get that information for you all. And if you're interested, just text me and I'll then text you a picture of them. That's the best way we can do it.
Oh, wear one right now. Just put it on.
I have to assemble it, so I don't have one ready, but let me see if I can do that.
Okay, no problem. I wish I was in driving. I could put one for you because I got one right next to me. I've been rocking it. Everybody loves it. So. All right. So, Robbie, you're getting the groups ready? Yeah, just random. Yeah. Is Rafiq on the line? Rafiq? You Napoli? Yeah. It's a first countryman, man. Is an African as well. Yeah. Okay. All right. Do I have my people from the Bahamas? Guyana? Talk to me.
Right there.
Nice. I feel better when I see you guys.
Yep.
All right, good. Okay. So I guess what I would say is to not waste too much time. She's gonna stay on the Bible study. Maybe at the end of it, she can show it. She can showcase what she has, and by that time I'll be home too, and I can showcase what I got from her, and we'll go from there. All right. So I don't know if you want to repeat the question again, Rabbi, for those who come late. That's right. Also, if you have any morals, right? Like you have articles or a story or something, with your argument compelling, you can also present that. What I can say, if you can tell them, yeah, can you tell everyone which group they're in so they know group 1, group 2, whatever. So recite their names and then. No. You could do a random, but then just tell, okay, so and so. You can do 5 so far. Yeah. Or you can do 6 groups because I know that more people are gonna start coming. So you can do 6 groups. Yeah. And when people come, you can just add them to the 6. Really. Mhm. Right. Well, I'm gonna be out, so don't count on me. Yeah, put it in that. Yeah. Okay.
I've
You
just
see I'm in group
joined.
5. Do you see I'm in group 5? Oh, okay.
Just remember too that I'm driving, so driving back up to Port St. Lucie. So
How long are we going to be in groups? Did you determine the time?
22.
Yeah, give him 15 minutes. 5-0.
Is that 5? Is that?
All right. Genie.
Back to the phone.
Yes, yes. Welcome back, everyone. Every single one of you.
Look that faster.
Huh?
Faster.
I adopted a child from Zimbabwe.
I see that.
Yes. All right. So I had the privilege of visiting a few of the groups, and I heard some very heated debate. I can't wait to hear. Huh?
Ear dropping.
In my group. I can't wait to hear what Shram has to say. And so I know all of you are ready to go ahead and tell us what you came up with. Let's get right to it. Which group want to go first?
Group one.
Group one. All right. And Lazanor, go ahead.
I'll be
First of all, what is your group's position? You got to tell me, is your group position yes, no, or in between, or undecided? Yeah.
I say yes and no.
Okay, hold on. I think Robertson is saying something. Robertson?
Yeah, I was saying, if you don't mind, I have group 0 here from YouTube. I only have like 2
zero.
responses. Yeah, so if anybody if you don't mind,
I love it. Let's have group 0. Yeah.
Mute everybody else first.
Yeah, I'll mute everybody. Okay, thank you.
All right, so group 0, I have 2 responses, and one is for and one is against. So the first one they gave, the one that is for, they said, but before owning a gun, one should have training how to use the gun, and they should also go for a psychological evaluation. So the verses they gave is Luke 22 verse 36.
Let's read that. What does it say?
Hold on. (22, 36). It says, he told them, but now if you have a purse, take it. Now, however, he told them, the one with a purse should take it, and likewise a bag. And the one without a sword should sell his cloak and buy one. So, and
so is that comparable to a gun, or what's the argument here?
I guess they see as buying the sword as in place of a gun. And then Luke 22 verse 38, which says, the disciple said, look, Lord, here are 2 swords. That is enough, he answered. So I'm not sure what the context is, but that's what it is. And then Matthew 26. Verse 52. It says, put your sword back in its place, Jesus said to him, for all who draw the sword will die by the sword.
So I assume this is the one for against, right?
No, maybe. That's the same one. So I guess that one that's the same person. But then they give the last verse is Song of Solomon 3 verse 6. And I think they were mainly looking for 7 and 8, which says, behold his bed, which is Solomon's, 80 valiant men are about it. Of the valiant of Israel, they all hold swords, being experts in war. Every man have his sword upon his thigh because of fear in the night. So that's the person that said that they were for. And the person that was against, they said, well, we have to ask ourselves the question, are we living in a dangerous environment? If people seize me with a gun, would they listen to me when I witness to them? I believe that fearful people walk with gun because they don't know they don't want to let God manifest himself in our lives. Christians don't need our gun because we have the greatest weapon of all time, Christ, our victor. And then
Okay.
they gave Matthew 6, the same verses we read, Matthew 26, verse 52, and Luke 22, verse 36. So I guess they look at it from a different perspective.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, this is actually good. I like, when we have diversity for or against. I want you to take notes if you have any questions about the text, or if you read the verse before and after and you see it's a different context, you want to shed some lights, and that would be great. So okay, group 0 is that was great. I mean, I encourage them to keep doing that. That's the YouTube group. We really appreciate it. I'm very proud of you guys. Keep that up. Yes, that was very good. Okay, group 1 now. Group 1.
Elder Azenor is going to speak for our group.
Okay, all right. He's not there. Okay. Remember, you have 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, go
Okay.
ahead. Let's go to group. Which group is next?
I'll take over for him.
You'll take over for him. Okay, all right, no
Yeah.
problem.
So we like group 0, our group is kind of leaning more towards Christians not owning a gun, but we have some people who still don't hate the thought of owning a weapon for self-defense. So we believe for the side that thinks that Christians shouldn't have a gun, we believe that Jesus, God, is the only weapon that we'll ever need, both in the physical and in the spiritual. Because there are some situations that where a physical gun won't really be able to help you. Not only that, but people underestimate the power of God and how strong he is in terms of like keeping you away from situations where you might be in the position to kill somebody. Because I'm saying this because I was actually put in that situation where somebody came into my house and slept on my bed. But by the power of God, I wasn't there. I was in Homestead at that day. My mom, my mother, and my sister, they were out. And my grandmother, although she was in the house at that time, thank God that, his spirit was over her, because the person didn't see her. He just beelined straight from my room and slept in my bed. And the authorities came, they took the person away, and then the person was put in prison. So then that is my testimony, and also why I strongly believe that we don't need a weapon, because God can protect us from the things that we don't see, whether we know it or not.
Wow.
And
somebody can deny your argument, they can deny, your stance, but they cannot deny your testimony. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
I'm here, my
Oh, you're
ahead.
back? Okay. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, me and Ruben, we're on the same side. And I could add to what Ruben said, because I said that once you carry a gun, you might think that you're going to try to threat somebody, or you would never maybe pull that gun. But evil has a way to work. He has a way to get into you. He will use what you have to your disposition or what you like to take you where you would not like or want to be. And it happens to me many times. I never thought about myself killing somebody, whether with a gun or with a rock, with a knife, never, because I believe life is too precious. It's something nobody can create. Nobody should take any life. This is my personal belief. But it happened to me where I have found myself in certain situation, and I explained to them where I stop at a red light or a full stop for me, a few minutes, and somebody will come and bump into my car. And I said to myself, oh my God, if I had a gun, I would have shoot that person tire. And I said, you know what? It's a good thing I didn't carry a gun, because by me reaching out for my gun to do these things, somebody could have shot me. And let's say that in life, not only that, I wanted to kill somebody because somebody attacked me or do something to me. How much can I defend myself? I am limited. I am powerless. I am small. But God is unlimited. God is powerful. God is everywhere. I can only see in front of me, in a certain area of my side, but God can see everywhere. So I think for myself or for anybody else who have my belief like Marvin, the key is to sell yourself out totally to God. I think that's where your defense comes from. You cannot love your family, your wife, or even yourself, your children, more than God helps you. In my case, I said, if it's God will, somebody's gonna kill me, God allow that person to kill me, let it be, it's my time. But I know God is able to defend me, to protect my family, to protect my child. Nothing will happen to me.
Wow. Okay. And do you have, because you're saying a lot of stuff that I'm hearing from the Bible. Did you connect any verses with that? You're saying some biblical stuff here.
Psalm 91, he that dwell in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
My God. I'm hearing some Psalm 27, you know.
Yes.
You know, the Lord is my light, my salvation, whom shall I fear? You know, I'm hearing Psalm 121, you know, no one can hurt me. Okay, all right, okay.
You understand? But that comes from within my strong belief that I have been practicing for years. I discuss that with friends. I have Seventh-day Adventist pastor who carry gun, I have elders who carry gun, and they have a strong belief. And there was a brother that was there with us, Brother Pierre, Sister Woodley, believe that you should be able to defend yourself, and God will not say it a bad way because they come up with some verses. And Brother Pierre, who not maybe listening, he step out, or even come up with that verses that where he said
it was Luke 22 36. That was the verse that Pierre was following by.
Exactly. He said that Jesus asked the disciple to carry sword. I said maybe when we meet together, maybe you will place it into context for us, because I don't believe that. Because
we need the context. Yeah.
Exactly. If that was the case, first of all, Jesus would not need the disciple to defend him. He would just, with a flick of fingers, call an angel to defend him. And 12 disciples could not defend Jesus
against the Romans.
Exactly. That's powerful army. Third, Jesus would not attach the soldier ear back and ask Peter to put his sword back. Fourth, I believe that Jesus was willing, even though it was difficult to go to Calvary to redeem us. I don't think that he wanted to defend himself, and that's why every day he died to himself. This is what we need to do: die to ourselves every day, sell ourselves totally to God, and become one with God, as Jesus have prayed to the Father for the disciple to become one with him, the same way him and the Father were.
Wow. All right. Hey, man, there's some deep stuff here. I see Mika had her hand raised. Let me go to Mika before I go to the next group. Very good, Elder. Mika.
All right. Happy Sabbath, everyone.
Happy Sabbath.
I'm going to say that you shouldn't have a gun, and somehow, because if you have God, why do you need a gun? And
Mika, are you in a group?
Yeah.
What group are you in?
She's in our group, Group 1.
Oh, Group 1. Okay, the same group with. Okay, good. Go ahead, Mika.
So I was going to say that if you have a protector that's guiding you so much, why would you need a gun?
Pastor, can you mute the other mic, because we can't really hear Mika?
I don't know whose mic is this. Okay, I think it was okay. Yeah, go ahead. It's muted.
So what you should do is you should count on God for him to protect you. Pray to him, and you don't know what miracle can happen. You don't know if anything can happen. Just like this Bible story. I don't remember his name, but God had said, you don't need all those soldiers to defeat another pack of soldiers. You just need 300 soldiers.
You're talking about Gideon, right?
Yes. You just need 300 soldiers. You don't need all those soldiers just to defeat just a big pack. You can just count on me, your God of everybody, because if you don't know what can happen, you just count on God to his miracles. Just leave it to God. You don't know what might happen. You should just look around and no one sees you like, wow, what happened? And God is just like a miracle worker, so you should believe in him, trust him for everything that he's doing, and thank him for everything.
Praise God. That was very awesome. Thank you so much, Mika. We appreciate that. All right.
Can I add on to that real quick, Pastor? There's
Okay,
also
very quickly.
the prophet Elijah, and he was fighting against a whole kingdom, yet instead of and his people and his army wasn't as big as the other army, yet God provided him. He wasn't fearful or anything. Why? Because God provided him with an army of angels. So that goes back into the text of who we're really fighting. We're fighting really against flesh. We're not fighting against flesh and blood, but we're really fighting a spiritual battle. So a gun might be able to help you in the physical, but what's going to help you in the spiritual?
Right. Okay. Very good. Thank you. The arguments are solid so far, for or against. So let's keep at it. Which group is next?
Group 5.
Group 5. Christine Roden. Welcome.
Welcome. Yes.
Yes. Praise
Okay.
God.
Okay. Our team is split. Some said yes for gun, some say no. But my belief is I don't believe in gun because y'all know my story. I saw my son kill somebody.
Yeah.
And he changed his whole life, got married, be a Seventh-day Adventist, and now he's by the light, nothing else. And God has brought him a long way. Yes, in life we get a second chance. And we were talking about if we think if you're a Seventh-day Adventist, if you can be a police or a soldier. I don't have anything against it, but to me, if you that's your career, if you in it for the job, I don't think, if it's not necessary, I don't think you should kill somebody. But if you have to, if it come down to it, and your life in a situation and you have to, hey, go ahead. But to me, like Psalms 22, the Lord is my shepherd. It's like, I'm telling a lot of people, I said, it's two things. If a man come up to you with a gun, it's two things. Either you pull the trigger or you don't. But in life, we have to have faith. Because every morning when I wake up, I read Psalms 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He making me down to lie in green pasture. I'm not for fear. I don't fear nobody. The only person I fear is God.
Amen.
Only person. And the only person that's going to guide me through each and every day is the one Almighty God. And my problem, I put my problem to God because only Him alone can help me through it. Not man, not nobody else.
Well, thank you for that, and I know your experience firsthand because you're my member, and it's never easy to deal with something like that, and so thank you for sharing that. One thing from what you said, if you're in a situation where it's for your life now, what will determine if you had good reasons to believe your life was in danger, or can the fear of the gun make you act irrational, even though you could have salvaged the situation another way? Now you pull the gun. So that's going to be, some other areas I'm thinking people are going to go to for that. Because, if the person that's judging, they say, man, I was afraid for my life. But then when they look at it like, bruh, I know you said you were afraid, but really you could have, you see what I'm saying to you? So that's where morality becomes blurry, and when you leave the ultimate decision into somebody's hand. But very good argument so far. All right, thank you so much.
Can I say something?
Yes, from the same group?
Yeah, from the same group.
Okay, all right.
So you can go. You can continue, Christine.
Go ahead. No, someone else was going to say something.
No, somebody is going to talk.
Yeah.
Hi. I was just thinking about something when talking about Elijah, when it was just him and his servant, and the whole, I think it was the Syrian army came down against them, and it was just both of them. It just was Elijah and the servant.
Right.
Had Elijah had a gun, how much of those soldiers he could have taken down? You know what I mean? And he prayed to the Most High, to the Almighty, and he asked God to open his servant eyes so he can see who was with them and how much was with them, rather than who was against them. And he prayed that God blind them. And God did such a wondrous miracle at that moment, at that time, in that place when they needed it, right and there on the spot. He did that miracle, and he
So
lead them.
if I'm hearing it correctly, if I could may interject for just a second, are you going in that vein that sometimes if we have our own weapon, we can hinder God's miracle from happening to us? Like, for example, you have a gun and now God wanted to do something miraculous. You're like, okay, all right, now, you in the way. Is that
that's what I was getting at. Could it be that we are so defensive that we hinder the miracle of God in our life? Could it be that that's one of the reasons why we don't see such a miracle happen? And we think, God, where is the miracle that happened in those days? Why are we not living in those miracles? Could it be that we are so defensive nowadays that we are not seeing the powers of God happening in our lives because we want to do it ourselves?
Yeah.
We are in the way.
We take matters into our own hands. Yeah.
Right,
Wow.
right. And Elijah didn't do that. He had such faith and such trust in God that he prayed, even in the middle of them, surrounded them. Everywhere he looked, it was on every side. But he prayed right then and there. And sometimes we say, right now, we cannot pray right now. Yes, we can pray. It was Peter who was underwater, and he prayed, Lord, save me right then and there, no long prayer, and God saved him. I think sometimes we are too defensive when we are standing in the way of our own miracle and seeing the powers of God. And how do we trust him?
That's a very powerful argument. Very powerful argument. Thank you so much. That's very profound right there. Go ahead, Jace.
Yeah, Pastor, I and a few others had an opposing view on this.
Okay.
We believe that Christians, and depending on the circumstance, environment, situation, should have a gun to protect themselves. Let's say, for instance, if you're a Christian and you live in a highly dangerous neighborhood, and crimes 24/7, not literally, but just figuratively, crimes 24/7, and you have to put God at the forefront. That's number one. I don't disagree with that. But in certain situations,
they say whenever you say but, you cancel out the first statement. So
okay. I have memory verses for it. All right. Exodus 22 verse 2. All right. And it reads,
somebody said, sounds like God is the backup plan.
No. It reads, if a thief is caught breaking in at night and is struck at a fatal blow, then the defender is not guilty of bloodshed. That's
what verse is that? What verse is that?
Exodus 22 verse 2.
All right.
Right.
So this is basically evidence that the defender has the right to defend himself.
Yes. Ecclesiastes 3 verses 3. You can continue reading, but I'll read verse 3. It says, and there's a time for everything. There's a time to kill. There's a time to heal. There's a time to tear down. There's a time to build up. Depending on the circumstances, there's a time to mourn. Things like this will happen. You cannot just avoid these things. As the world progresses, the world will get more evil. So you cannot tell me that if you see someone is trying to kidnap your kid or hurt your family, you as the head of the household would just allow this stranger to come in and abduct your family like that and just stay there and say, Lord, please save me. You can't, in that moment, in the heat of the moment, you're not going to be like, Lord, please save me, you know? So
or you could.
You can pray in your heart, but I believe that you have to take action as well. I think you have to exercise your faith as well.
Gotcha. Okay. Very good point. Very good point. So you're not saying when you say you have to take action, it's not that you must, but you're saying somebody has the right to take action if they want
that's
to.
correct. That's correct.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying that you should go out flashing your gun and trying to cause a confrontation. You should responsibly own the gun. You keep it in a safe place, away from others, away from people, so that they won't hurt themselves. But you should have that responsibility. You know, if something escalates, then you know you have something.
Very good. Very good. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I see, Darna, you have your hand raised. Go ahead.
Yeah, yes, Pastor. From the same group as Brother Swish. Usually, studying like the mind of criminals, they usually like to attack people who are vulnerable, who they know can't defend themselves. So many of the crimes are against little children, the elderly, animals, people that can't defend themselves. People just walking and you're not paying attention. Those are the people that a criminal will attack mostly. But maybe like if they see your weapon or they see that you're not afraid of them, they will run. When I was little, they would tell you if a person approach you and try to hurt you, if you show fear, then you give them a door to go ahead and do what they're doing. But if you show them you're not afraid and tell them, listen, I'm not afraid of you, or sometimes if you speak loudly, they get scared and they run. Maybe just seeing that you are armed will make them run away. It doesn't have to be a gun. Anything can be a weapon. We hurt each other even by our own thoughts.
All right. Thank you so much. I think this group's time has expired. I appreciate you. And then we're going to go to another group. And then if there's time, we'll come back to some of these comments. Very, very good so far. I'm learning with you, and we're pushing the conversation forward. Next group, please.
We have group 4.
Group 2.
I'm there.
Okay,
Group
Brandon,
two.
I heard group 4 first, and then after group 4, we'll jump to group 2. All right.
All right. So we were mixed in our responses. We were some that were for it and some that were against, and we did have some that were on the fence. So bear with me. So I believe that we have to follow the law of the land. And so with that said, if the law allows you to have a gun, you should have it with the right training. I think someone mentioned that earlier. And also we know there were no guns in the Bible time. And so, but they still had weapons. As we know, there were wars. And so it was justified to kill or murder in those times based on the circumstance. Ecclesiastes 9:18 says, wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroys much good. So as someone mentioned, we kill people in different ways. So though we might not use a gun, we might use our tongue to destroy someone's character and so on and so forth. We see that Abraham was told to go kill his son Isaac. So in certain instances, we see that self-defense or killing in the name of freedom or religion or God's purpose was then justified. I think the biggest thing that we need to understand is the intention. Only God can judge. And so whether it's self-defense or personal conviction, at the end of the day, we need to be spirit-led, but we also need to understand that God is the ultimate judge of what we do. So as Christians, I think somebody also gave the example of the shooter that came into the church and he killed 2 people, and then there was a deacon that had a gun, and the deacon was able to kill the perpetrator. Whereas there was another church shooting where all 8 people were killed, and unfortunately, so just like we have the health laws, and people die of cancer and they were healthy, it's the same way that we need to still guard ourselves, but also remember that we need to be spirit-led.
All right, that was very good. Just so I can be clear, the second group you're talking about, the second shooting where 8 people got killed, nobody had a gun. Is that why all 8 people died?
Nobody. Well, I believe no one had a gun. I don't know if the shooter was well trained and they didn't give people a chance to react, but for the most part, I believe that nobody had a gun to defend.
Okay. I think in that one, I think it was when the white kid.
No, that's North Carolina.
Yeah.
Nobody had a gun there.
Yeah, but not only that, but he gained their trust. He acted like he came into the prayer. So he didn't just come and whatever, but he came and prayed with them and then started shooting. That's deception at its best.
And he said also he was fulfilling a mission.
Yeah.
So I'm from Group 4 also, Pastor Ruben.
Okay.
But sometimes we know for sure in the Bible and the 10 Commandments it says like thou shalt not kill. But we know at some circumstances God has no problem with killing, and so therefore owning a gun, it all depends on the intent. So I'm not gonna have a gun every time somebody pissed off or upset with me and I pull out the gun and shoot that person. So it's on the intent, because people always have weapons, whether it's Christian or non-Christian back in the days, they always have weapons. So it's the intent that you have it, because that's why we said, let's lead with love of God in our heart, which is what we should do. And that's why it says, love your enemy. If you're not looking to destroy your enemy. But there's a certain point at that certain time of your life when you come to your enemy come to destroy you. So God himself will tell you which way you should go about it.
So Nixon, can I push the conversation further?
Go ahead, sir.
So in that case, you said something earlier about man, I lost my train of thought. I wanted to make
about the people of God, right?
Yeah, no, but no, you said something about owning the gun. Like, what is your reason for the person?
I said the intent. It's all about.
Oh yeah, the intent. Okay, yes, that's what I wanted to get at. Okay, so do you think that owning a gun can begin to change your intent slowly, or to make you see things differently? Just like if when somebody has money, they change whether they know it or not. Like, there's a level of
it's a choice. It's a choice they made. It's the same way they can make the choice not to change, but they make the choice to change. When you own a gun, you just choose to let gun control you, or the gun push you. But that's what I said.
Exactly.
If we do truly converted people, people of God, we should let God's Spirit lead us the right way. It's not the gun the gun can't speak. The gun doesn't have a mind. It's you that change. It's your mind. You let the evil thoughts get in yourself to change you to be what you don't want, God doesn't want you to be. But if you decided you want to be what God wants you to be, doesn't matter if you have a gun or not. So therefore, you will not do any evil. But there will be some times in the Bible we know God does authorize
All right. The enemy. All right, thank you so much. And let me go back to
no peace without war.
Yeah. That's got to be eating.
Yes, Pastor Ruben.
Gangster. I mean, you can go ploop, no peace without war. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyways, right? So, Jay Switch, I wanted to go back to something you said earlier. You said, Nixon, it's a big responsibility. And someone said, if you hide the gun well, you put it in a place where people cannot get it. Have you heard situations where the gun was in the safe, or it was hidden somewhere, and then a child or somebody in the house take the gun and accidentally, either kill themselves or whatever? What do you think about that? Does that sway your opinion at all, or you still believe?
Not necessarily, because it's your responsibility to teach your child as well. That's kind of a failed parenting.
To my 9 years old to teach them how to use a gun?
Oh, at 8, 9 years old?
Yeah.
Even at 8, 9 years. Okay, at 8, 9
because
years
there's
old.
a story that came out not too long ago where 8-year-old or 9-year-old took the gun from the safe and then killed the baby sister.
You don't have to teach the child how to use a gun, just not to touch the gun.
Teaching the child how to use the gun, just not to touch the gun. Just teach them that it's wrong.
Stay away from the gun.
Stay away from that. It's the same
Because
way
it's
you would tell
dangerous.
your child, if you leave $20 on the table, you tell your little child not to touch it because it's stealing.
But a lot of times when you tell a child not to do something, that's when it becomes a temptation for them to do it. Right? But anyway, I was just saying, have you thought about that angle? But we can move on from there. But I'm not trying to sway
the gun in hands reach anyways?
Say that again?
Why is the gun in hands reach anyways? Even if it's in a safe, put it in a high place.
No, it wasn't a safe. For whatever reason, I don't know if the kid figured out what the safe combination was or whatever. He took it out, so it was a very safe place. Yeah. But anyways, okay, so yeah, these are the angles I want y'all to be thinking about. It's not just, okay, I get everybody have their stance, but have you thought about every angle? Very good so far, very good. Mervin, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on what Brother Nixon said. I'm not, forgive me if I'm saying this incorrectly, but I believe I heard you said something about God not having a problem with killing, I guess, during the times of before Jesus' ministry. I just wanted to make sure if I said it correctly. Am I right or am I wrong?
So he's asking you, Brother Nixon, is that what you said?
Well, that's exactly what I meant. When the time of war, God had no problem killing because he did it all so he can go ahead and preserve and defend his people. And we know it happened. We saw it from David, had to defend the nation of Israelite, and we saw it from many other occasions. So therefore, then they said the victory was God that allowed that victory to kill those other wicked nations that come to destroy the people of God. So
okay. So then, yeah. Can I interject?
In the morning. It's not wake up in the morning and then you say, "Oh, I'm a Christian," or those people is evil in the street. Let me pull out a gun and kill that person. Not that way. I'm talking about to defend and preserve the people of God. They're having a problem with that. Go ahead, Pastor Ruben.
Yeah, because I was gonna say we must differentiate between personal killing and national killing, meaning that when it's war, is different. It's beyond the person. It's the duty of the nation, right? And so because God has given the nations God has granted the sovereignty of nation, and the nation they have the right to defend themselves together for the common purpose of the nation. So that's different than somebody who owns a gun personally. So I just want to make sure we have that difference. Or, like when God told them to kill Achan, right? So that was a judgment that was passed on them and their family. Or if God said somebody breaks the law, then you have to kill that person. It's almost like when the nation has a set of laws that has to do with death penalty. So don't get those two mixed up. So now we're talking about is it okay for people to fight in the army, all that good stuff. I think in the early years of Adventism, they had a combatant, meaning they were not supposed to combat and stuff like that. But I think over time they changed to the person's conviction, and if the nation needs you, then of course they would allow you to go. Okay, so I just wanted to bring that light in. Yeah,
I wanted to comment on that because it goes back into what that sister said. During those times, God didn't have a problem because what David was doing was for the nation or for the people. But at the same time, how do you know that it wasn't also blocking his blessings or the opportunities that God could have presented before him? Because at the time, he wanted to build God's temple, but God told him no because he had too much blood on his hand.
Yeah.
And so he passed it down to his son Solomon instead. Yeah. So I wanted you guys to look at it in different perspectives and not just the factor of self-defense, because it goes back to what the sister said. You owning a gun can block out your opportunities or the miracles God has for your life.
Yeah, that's a very good point you just made about, blocking his blessings, because David murdered a lot of people. I think, he went to a town, when Nabal, was the one leading. He was about to slaughter everybody if it wasn't for his wife. So yeah, he he did a lot of stuff that, even though he did them and the Bible mentioned them, it doesn't mean that we should follow what he did. Remember, we talk about the Bible mentions a whole lot of stuff, not saying that you should follow it as well. All right, good. Let's go to the next group, please. Group 2.
Group 5.
Group 2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, me and my group, we are pro Christians owning a gun, and here's why. Because I think it was Sister Mary who gave an example. She told me that if someone were to break into your house right now, well, God forbid someone breaks into your house right now, and you see your family, whether it's your mom, your dad, your children, and the person who's breaking into your house is like about to kill them or hurt them or any kind of way. Let's say his gun falls out. Are you not going to use your gun to protect your family? Would you think about it? Would you grab the gun first, or would you go on your knees to pray first? Based off human instinct.
Well, I guess that would depend on if you have a gun or not. If you have a gun, then you probably would go to your gun first. But if you don't have a gun, I probably think you will go on your knees. Right? You see?
Yeah.
No, but you can't have one option. The option is, if everybody has a gun, then it would be one option. But since you can be for or against, then you could have someone has it, you're gonna go run for a gun. You don't have one. You can't go buy one and come back for the person while the person's there. So if you have it, I think your instinct would probably be to go to the gun. And so I think this is what some of the people are arguing, Amari, that if you have the gun, then the gun becomes your first defense, or the thing that your first priority, of your first go-to, when God should be your first go-to. So this is the people that are arguing against. So yeah, I want you to think about that. But yes, but that's.
May I say something for a minute?
Yeah, but I don't think Amari was finished. I just wanted to answer that. We'll come back to you, Ephesus.
And in Exodus, a brother earlier said that if they are attacking you, it is okay to kill them, and you will not have any blood guilt. And if we look at the story of Moses, God protected the Israelites by killing half of the Egyptians to protect the Israelites so they wouldn't die anymore. And he killed a lot of people when he opened the Red Sea. So why is it if someone attacks our family, why can't we kill that person to protect our family and our loved ones?
Good. Okay. So and also, by the way, till this day, this law exists, that if you kill somebody to defend yourself, they're not going to look at it the same way as someone who premeditated. So in a sense, that policy from Exodus carried over throughout the ages even until now. Very good. Are you were you finished, Amari, or?
I don't know if anybody else in my group wants to talk. They could talk if they want to.
But that was very good. I really appreciate that, man. By the way, Omar, how old are you now? 15?
16. I'm turning 17.
Omar is a 16-year-old kid, very well articulated. I'm proud of you, son. Proud of you. Listen to my sermons every Sabbath, man, and you're doing well. Appreciate you.
No, but last Saturday you kind of left us on a cliffhanger. I didn't like that.
I had to because I was running out of time. But see, it was worth the wait, right? Today you got the story, and then it seems like at the end of it again, it cuts off. Yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you, brother. Yes. Someone else was gonna say something. I believe I saw French, SDA French.
No, it was me. It was me, Pastor.
Okay. All right.
It was me.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on, Sham. I think Ephesus French had something to say regarding what they were saying. Okay.
It's Winks, Pastor Ruben, because I'm.
Oh, Winks. What's up, man? Oh yeah, it makes sense now. See the big W.
Yes, I want to go back to what the young man was saying, and we want to be careful whether we choose to actually have a gun or not in the house. But especially as Christians, we need to remember that God is the first protection in line that we have, and we want to be careful that. And when we're approaching that, going back to 1 Chronicles chapter 21, David is getting ready for war. But David forgot that God was the person who actually supposed to lead him in battle. And David went away from God, start counting how many men he has. He's going to take to war. So basically, we have to remember as Christian, the first line of defense is God, because God says, I will protect you. So we want to make sure that we're not leaning ourselves toward, okay, well, because I have a gun in the house, okay, this gun is going to protect me. Because a lot of times the gun is in the house. You don't even have a time to get to it. So we want to make sure that we lean on God for first line of protection.
Wow. Okay. And by the way, in that story, what happened after David counted his soldiers? Plagues came over the nation. Yes. People died by the thousands. It was.
God was so upset about it too.
Yeah. It was crazy. All right, Brother Shem, I think you're next.
So, Brother Amari was in my group.
Okay.
I was in his group. So I want to affirm what the guy just before me was saying. It's not the fact that the gun is in your house. As Christians, let me first state this. I am with the program. My group, we pro-gun.
You are pro-gun. Okay. Even yes. You are pro-gun now. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That was our consensus.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna justify now. Okay. Now, obviously, if the gun is in your house, there's no guarantee you can get to the gun to defend yourself. All right. Now the Bible is clear. Man who doesn't watch with, who doesn't seek the Lord first in what he does, watch it in vain. He's gonna miss the threat.
Psalm 127. Right? Yeah.
Right. So obviously, Christians, we expect that every day you up and you commune with God. You ask Him to cover you and your family, and so on. Now let me repeat the story that Amari was saying.
Shem, could I just stop you for just 1 second, please, if you don't mind?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Everybody, last time I asked you to put in your email, but Robinson had already left and we couldn't find him anymore. So can you do it now while he's here, and he's gonna copy all your email addresses so we can have everything on file for you? Because I wanted to send you an article, but I couldn't do that. So if you don't mind, while Shem is speaking, to put in your email address, and Robbie will copy them, and then we'll go from there. Is that okay, Robbie? You'll be able to do that? Okay. All right. Continue, Shem. I just didn't want to forget that again.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the story that Amari was saying, it came up in the discussion we were having in our group that actually he started out as an anti-gun. But
you guys converted him.
No, we didn't. No, we had a discussion, and we discussed it from both sides.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right.
Yes.
We didn't overwhelm. Blondie was in my group. She can testify of this.
Okay.
Now, you're sitting in your house, and someone badgers in your door, and you're sitting there watching. You did everything you should have done right as a Christian, and you're sitting there watching assault your. Their gun actually fell next to you, and you were in a position to bring this assault to an end. What would you do? Go on your knees, or are you gonna pick up that gun and bring the situation to an end? Because God provided the opportunity that gun that was intended to kill one of your family to fall next to you. He gave you the opportunity to bring this assault to an end.
Now, Shem, you opened another can of worms, as I knew you would do. So now, here's the other question. So now, if you don't have a gun, but the perpetrator's gun fall, and now you have an opportunity to get it, what do you do? Are you going to shoot it, or are you just going to just let it be?
Well, you think I'm going to put my hand on my head? Do you think I'm going to put my hand on my head and scream, oh God, oh God, oh God, and run through the door? No way. I will bring the situation to an end, because especially if you're a husband, it is your responsibility to defend and protect your household.
Yeah.
All right. Now we went scriptural too. The same scripture that everyone else was quoting from Exodus. With if someone comes into your home, you have a right to defend.
That seems to be the strongest one so far.
You have a right to defend your home by any means necessary, including with a gun. Now, they're also like, we went this way. If the issue is not with the gun, like the brother said, the gun does not have a mind of its own. It's a tool. The gun is a tool. And incidentally, people don't just have guns to kill other humans. You can have guns for sport, not necessarily to kill animals, but you can have a gun for sport. All right? Maybe you're into that kind of stuff. But the gun doesn't have a brain of its own. It doesn't pull its own trigger. It doesn't load the bullets in its chamber by itself. That's a decision you make. And just like if you are a person who's addicted to food or you're addicted to drugs, the devil will come and tempt you to abuse food, and you get obese and you get all sorts of dietary diseases. He will come and tempt you to abuse drugs, and then you're addicted to drugs. It's the same issue. When you have the gun, he will also come and try to tempt you to misuse that gun. And you have to make a choice whether you will fall for that temptation or not. But at the end of the day, it's just like if we could forget about the gun. If the guy came into your house and you had to go for the knife to defend your family and bring the assault,
or you have a machete.
That's what you would do. You would cut his head off. All right.
Oh man! All right, that sounded rough at the end there, boy. Woo.
But pretty much, like I'm saying, the gun is a tool. It's not, it doesn't have a mind of its own. It's a tool for you to use.
All right.
The right way.
So, am I hearing you say, Sham, that if you had a gun, you need to pray even more, not pray, pray more so that you don't get tempted by the enemy, right?
Yeah. Well, if you have a good relationship, it's not just prayer. If you have a good relationship with God, the Spirit will lead you in the right way, and you wouldn't make bad decisions. You're not likely to make bad decisions with that gun.
That's right. Okay. And somebody said there's a popular saying. He says, "The gun don't kill people. It's people that kill people." All right. So I see some of your hands. As you know, Winks, if you spoke before, I'm going to let somebody who didn't speak first so that we can give everybody a chance. I see Carlene, you have your hand up.
It's okay, Ruben. I'll go with group 3.
You go with group 3. All right. So I believe group 3 will be next. So group 3 is next. All
right.
Hold on a second. Brandon, you're part of group 2, the one that would just...
No, I'm actually part of group 6.
Okay, so let me have group 3. Who's next? Group 3 or group 6? Which one is next?
Group 3.
Group 3. Okay. So
can I make a quick comment? I was in group 2.
Okay. Go ahead. Make sure it's quick
now. Yeah. One of the sisters brought up Proverbs 21:31, and it says that the horse is made ready for the day of battle, but victory rests with the Lord. Okay. So. What I loved about this is that you made yourself ready to go to war, to battle if you had to, but you know that your victory is the Lord who's in control of it. So owning a weapon doesn't mean that you don't trust in God. It doesn't mean that you're blocking your blessings. The Bible says the complete opposite if you read it. But however, knowing who victory rests with and being ready doesn't have to be contrary of each other.
Amen.
That's all I have to say.
All right. Okay. That was very concise. That was good. All right.
Hi, Pastor.
Okay, group. Yes.
Can you hear me, Pastor?
Yeah, I can hear you.
This is Marie.
Oh, Marie.
I was also 2. Let me just add to what Blondine just said. In Psalms 2, where David says, the Lord teaches my hand to war and my fingers to do battle. And we also mentioned the story of Nehemiah when they were all armed with weapons because there was a threat from the enemy that they would attack them. So they ready with their weapons in the event that that attack came upon them. So they were prepared for battle, you know, and Israel had to, another point that had to be there when they were going into the promised land. They were all farmers, pretty much.
Well, just remember this argument
didn't
doesn't
know
stand.
how to fight.
Sister Marie, remember this argument is a little weak because we're not talking about a war or defending a nation. We're talking about personally, like a personal weapon. So yeah, I get it. Everybody, you know, they give everybody a weapon, even though they were farmers, but it was for a different purpose. So we're talking about personally to have it in your home in case you have to defend your own self, you know, as a civilian. Okay. So this is where we want to.
And there was,
yeah.
Okay. So
yeah.
with
I'm trying. It's not. I'm saying you can't say that, but I'm just letting you know if you're gonna bring that argument to someone, you know, it may be a weak one because they can, you know, let you know that hey, this was a different situation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So
well, there was another person that I found. Sorry. Okay.
No problem. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, Marie is wrapping up. Go ahead, Sister Marie.
Okay, I found something where it showed that Sister White's family weapons for food as well as protection. Armed guards when he would, so that he could be kept safe as well. So you know, as far as that goes, it seems that, you know, they used it for the purpose of protection as well.
What's the reference? What's the reference?
I did, and I was trying to find it again, but if I come across,
because I heard you reading it when I visited
before we
your
finished.
group. I was hearing you read it.
For some reason, and then it also went into the other areas.
Okay, no problem.
But I couldn't.
Okay, we'll come back to you. If you see it, you share with the rest of the group. Group 3.
Yes, sir.
All right. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Arlene.
Hi.
Oh, by the way, you're a first timer, right?
I'm a first timer.
Okay, welcome. All right, everybody, wish her welcome. Hopefully, you'll come back.
Definitely. Our group is divided. We down 50-50. Me and we won Jason over. It was me and Jay. And Jason was on the fence. We won him over. So that's what brought us 50-50.
But of course.
So we are the anti. Me, Jay, and Jason, we anti-weapon. The reason why is I shared my testimony, and Jay also shared her testimony as well. Sometimes as Christian, we want some type of control, the fear of the unknown. There's no greater weapon than our knees, our prayer, our Savior, our Redeemer. And just as someone mentioned, Peter was on water when he called Jesus. He didn't have time to kneel. You don't have to go do this. When we think about prayer, calling on God, it's not this elaborate thing that you got to get on your knees. You got to read
seven songs.
You sing a hymn. No, at the time is help, Jesus, help. You don't even have to say the me. He's already there. He's just waiting for you to you don't even have to say the whole Jesus, just the G, and he's already present. So the thing is, at times that because we are so afraid, and we say this all the time, but I don't think we understand what it means. Let it be your will. Anyone who knows me, know it is my greatest fear for me to die right now, leaving my kids at a younger age. But at the same time, if we pray, God, let it be your will, then we have to understand that if it were to happen that way, then there's a reason for it. We have to understand that also the Bible tells us at the end of time that God will put some of us to rest. He knows our heart. He knows we want this, and he knows we're working hard towards it. So if he sees that we may not be able to get there, we don't know how we're going to go. All we can do is intercede and say, God, I wouldn't want to go that way. But we don't know. So the reason that sometimes we hold on to, oh my God, it's so crazy in this world, I need to protect myself, I need to do this, is because we are so afraid. We relinquish that. We trust, but we're like, hey, what if he doesn't enter as quickly? Or what if he enters in a way that I don't, that's not how you would want it. So you hold on to that little bit of control and you justify by saying it is for protection. As a Christian, and I've lived with this where someone shot me point blank as I shared my testimony. Bullet shell casing on the floor. And I'm living here with no bullet holes in my body.
Wow.
So we have to stand firm that when we pray, that God has our best interest at heart. And if it were to go astray, if it were to go the other way around, it is still for his glory, because after all, we all pray if it is his will.
Wow.
And that's where the three of us stand. And I let Miss Darnett and the other half of the team. And our verse was, we had Psalm 91, we had Psalm 46, we had our commitment, thou shalt not kill. But I had one this one that says, do not avenge. Brothers, never avenge yourself. So even in the midst of a situation, again, our God is a merciful. We say he's merciful. We say he's just. So we have to rely on it.
So let me push the envelope further. So would you apply Exodus 14:14 there? The Lord will fight.
I gotta go find Exodus. What does it say?
The Lord will fight for you and you shall keep silent.
That's right.
All right, man. So you went total trust on me, like total trust, like
total.
100%.
You have to. It's not easy. I will never say it's easy. There are days you wake up and you doubt, then you have to slap yourself in the back and say, what am I doing? and remember something else and get yourself together. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But
so far, I've been hearing a lot of miracles on the anti-gun, right? Like the people who say that they don't need it, they've all shared their testimony about what God has done for them without it. And so let's continue to find out what God is doing with it. And I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. You can deny someone's God, you can deny the doctrine, but you cannot deny their testimony. That was very powerful right there. Yeah.
Last thing, Ruben, with group 2, with the story, with the gun dropping, it's not by your might. This is God dropping, making him trip to give you that victory. So yes, you will take that gun to control the situation, but be known that he did not come in here to drop his gun. Somehow, if you ask him, he might be like, I don't even know what happened. What the heck? He's confused himself. He's just as confused as you. Like, how the heck this gun fall on the floor? He doesn't get it, but that's your God who made it happen for you that way. That's why you have that victory. So it's
so basically, you're saying that argument actually plays for the not owning a gun because God can do that. Wow.
Because when you serve God, he uses the enemy to deliver you. So, honey, he walked in the wrong house that day. That angel's like,
the same ditch that they dug for you, they're going to fall in it, right? The same
That's right.
is going to catch them. The same sword going to kill them. All right. Okay. Very good. What was this the last group?
No, we have group 6 after us.
Group 6. Okay, group 6. Brandon, group 6. No. Sister Darnett didn't finish yet. The other half, right? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, do I have to say something? Oh, okay. I totally agree with what most of you have said so far, but I am for it. And as I mentioned in the group, 2 guys came in our backyard and one broke into my car, one stole my husband's car about 3 weeks later. And I always say to myself, what if they try to come in the house? How am I going to defend myself? I'm 128 pounds and 5'1". If a 300-pound guy stopped me in the backyard one night, how am I going to defend myself? Here's the thing, especially when you're a mother, especially when you're a father, you don't know what's going to happen. There are many of people who are single mothers. You have a right. Having a gun doesn't mean that you're weak. Having a gun doesn't mean that you don't trust God. I believe it's added protection. Because I see a lot of people coming to church now. Most of the men, some of the men in the church have guns. They have a right to bear arms. You have a right to protect yourself. You never know what's going to happen. A lot of times we focus on people who are evil that would break into your house. I am a nurse. You have never seen a delusional person. You've never seen somebody with a mental issue that goes off. You can't reason with them. You have to stop them. And stopping them, if somebody breaks in your house and you have your 13-year-old daughter as a mother, as a father, and you have a weapon, you can stop him from raping your child, from hurting your child. So I believe in protecting yourself.
What if they're better than you at using the gun, meaning that you're trying to shoot them there, or they shoot you first, or they...
Well, you're not going to have a gun without being responsible. Of course, you're going to have training, right? But if you get the opportunity to, you don't really want to kill anybody, but if you, I mean, the foot, shoot them in the arm, you have to stop them, because it's a choice between stopping them or having your child killed, or having your child raped, or having you killed.
So here is something that somebody said on the chat. Does the gun guarantee your safety?
The gun, no. That's what I'm saying. God is first, but having the gun gives you some security, knowing that if something were about to happen, you can stop that. God can stop it, but you can also stop it.
Listen, I was saving that for my final thought, but as I'm getting old, I'll be forgetting stuff. So let me just say it now. The gun. So the gun does not guarantee your safety, right? The gun does not guarantee your safety. So my question is, have you asked God for permission to get the gun first? Is it something that you say, Lord, if I need to get a gun, let me know? Or you just assume that I need this as added protection on my own?
Well, you can pray about it, but look at the time we're living in. Wouldn't it be wise to get a gun? You pray about everything,
No.
Of course.
I'm not for or against. It's just I'm trying to make you think. Whoever for or against. If you say, okay, listen, I have the right to get one, but yet I'm trusting God totally. And now the question is, have you asked God, should you own a gun yet? And for him to give you an answer. See, that's something that people need to think about, because when we say we need this, we need that, who's saying we need this? Is it you that's saying that? Or is God agreeing with you that you do need that?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's food for thought. That's what I'm saying. Because a lot of times we say we trust God.
That's what you're saying.
Huh? Yeah.
Pastor.
Yes.
Pastor.
Shem, yes.
Yes, Pastor. I take your argument. It's good to have the, to throw these little, what we call googlies in cricket.
That's right.
You throw it into the mix to kind of change the direction of the argument.
Right.
But, I'll say this famous quote, God in his wisdom after the flood could have spoken vegetation back onto the land.
Yes.
But Noah and his family had to go and toil the soil, and we know what happened with the vineyard and him getting drunk or whatever.
Don't go there.
There's a lot of things God could have done. There's a lot of things God can do. He could speak a lot of stuff, but this thing is really, there's a lot of things God don't do. And one of the things I want to say is that, he gives us trees, but he don't make chairs for us to sit in, our beds for us to lie on, right? He expects us to use our brains and make good decisions, right? So again, I still come back to the argument that the gun is a tool. Now, our guns are used for offensive means as well as defensive means, right? If you're an army and you want to invade, or you're a thief and you want to go take, you use that gun as an offensive weapon to get your way, right? But if you're a single mom at home with your 13-year-old child, and you think that, look, I need to put a stop to this situation now, in the name of God, I will shoot him.
All right, man.
Can I just say something?
He always end with some punchline. The last time I'm gonna cut his head off. Now in the name of God, I will shoot him.
Pastor, can I just say something? Isn't that also common sense? I mean, I live in Hamden. New Haven is, I mean, the last week before last, we had so many shootings in New Haven. New Haven, Hartford, Bridgeport. Those are known areas for gang violence. You know, do I have to just sit back and wait and pray to the Lord to go arm myself? Or as a mother, I say, no, this is happening around me.
But let me ask you something. Would that harm you if you did that?
What do you think? No, not at all. I just think it's common sense to with the world we're living in and seeing what is happening and never know what's going to happen. I just think it's common sense. And why?
In the name of God, shoot him.
In the name of God, shoot him in the foot. You don't have to kill him, but shoot him stop him. So.
All right, let's get to the last group. Group number 6. Brandon, go ahead and speak to us, man.
Well, in my group, I think I'm the only one who says it's okay to own a gun. Well, against that, only because of God's protection toward them. But I say it's okay to own a gun. Sometimes we have to do our own part in order to protect ourselves. Just like if we're in a situation where a suspect is armed and is about to kill us immediately, we have the right to grab a gun and go shoot that person. To protect ourselves. But it's still something that people in the group are still against that, saying that we don't need to use a gun to protect ourselves.
All right. So group 6. Listen, I think that was it, right? That we got all the groups from 0 to 6. And
may I say something, Pastor?
Yes. Go ahead. I was gonna say somebody from online said, but can you probably use the gun and not afflict you or your loved ones?
That's what I was just about to say, because
go ahead. Yes.
I have been in a situation when I was a young child. There was a shooting that happened in our village there, and neighborhood, and a stray bullet killed a 10-year-old. Who's to tell me that my shooting this person won't harm someone who is in my own house? I might be the very person responsible for the death of my own, you know? And like, sometimes people forget that everyone here who is for a gun, they're talking as though they know the situation already, that, okay, I'm going to get the gun and I'm going to shoot. You don't know how you're going to react. You don't know the circumstances. You just don't know. You really and truly have to see God, you know, and ask him to help you. And you have to be level-headed enough to know, okay, this is not going to harm anyone, because once that bullet leaves that barrel, you are no longer in control of it.
Wow.
People are going to be responsible.
Wow.
You really have to be you just really need the grace of God in a lot of these things that's happening.
Listen, I think go ahead. Yes.
There's a question from YouTube.
Online, yes.
Yes. Group 0 would like to know, where do you stand?
Okay, yes. Well, you know, I would give my final thought. Yes, I leave my opinion to the end, because I don't want to sway the conversation one way or another. And I've been absorbing everyone. Let me just say, we have a very bright bunch. Okay, you guys are very, like, I really love it. I really love your flow of thoughts and the way. And this is what I want out of this group. I want you, whether it's doctrines or moral questions or anything like that, for you to have like sensible answers, and for you to really have a stance, whether for or against, but at least you know where you stand. Because if you don't know what you stand for, you will fall for anything. Okay? If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. So I just want to say to every group that participated, our first timers, Carlene, Daniela, and I don't know if I'm missing some of you, but if you for the first time, you see what you've been missing for the past 4 months, right? So I hope you make plans to return again and to make sure that we keep this going. Now, where do I stand on it? Let me ask somebody. Can somebody guess where you think I stand?
Against
You're too
it.
decent to shoot anybody.
Obviously, you're against.
Actually, you're too decent
I
to
can
shoot
see that.
anybody.
I'm too decent to shoot. Okay.
You seem like you would never shoot anybody. You
Yeah,
got
yeah.
so
I am actually with the total trust. You know, I strongly believe that God will protect me, and I believe my life is in His hands. I believe I'm ready at any time to die. So if that's my way of going out, I just think that it's God's responsibility to protect me when it comes to my life, right? Because what happens is life and death is in His hands, and I believe that's my personal belief. I believe that I trust God so much that no matter what happens in my life, I know it happens at His will, at His expense. You get it? I know I didn't put myself here. I'm serving a great God. And if I'm sleeping, I finish praying at night. I say, you know, I sleep, and the Lord is my protector, and I just do my last prayer. And then for somebody to break in and kill me, that's on God. That's how I see it. It's on Him, and He's gonna have to deal with that. Whether He's gonna have to defend. I know He can defend Himself. Either He's gonna have some greater story out of it. It's gonna have His glory gonna be taken out of it. Whatever. That's me. That's me. I am total trust. And people who are close to me, Elder Ray,